Alright, so I am just going to give you a brief tour of the main garden area. Now, being a permaculture food forest, we've got fruit trees all over the property, and as we grow, we will surround each tree with more and more other edibles, and that'll just spread throughout our whole property. But for right now, we're concentrating a lot of our edibles in one area, which is our main garden. And we're still doing a lot of annuals, but we would like to, year after year, continue adding more perennials. So come on over. So in this area of the garden, it's kind of a little bit of a hodgepodge mixed together, but we've got some okra, we've got cosmos growing, we've got several different beautiful flowering plants, as well as cilantro that came back from seed last year. We let our stuff go to seed so that way it can come on back on its own as well. So we've got cilantro, dill, sorrel, we got wild strawberries in there, we've got some kale growing, and then of course the center of it all is this beautiful apple tree. We also have this really precious tomato. It's an Everglade tomato from Florida, and I really love them because you get these tiny little really rich and sweet cherry tomatoes off of them that just keep coming back and coming back for more and more. So this special plant I wanted to show you down here is called a ground peach, which we absolutely love. It is a perennial, and it is kind of like a cherry tomato and a tomatillo together. So it has a covering that will go over top of it. You peel back the covering, and then it's got a nice golden peach cherry tomato inside. That's absolutely beautiful. As you can see here, I have these pots surrounding it, and that is to protect it from our guineas, who seem to think that they're actually chickens. Guineas are not supposed to do a whole lot of scratching in your garden. Mine, however, are tearing the whole thing up. So I have been placing pots all around the garden to try to protect any areas that the guineas might try to squeeze through and scratch at. So here is a great example of what my guineas keep doing, which is tearing up anything that has any sort of exposed dirt or mulch. So here we have these what were very beautiful broccoli and watermelon and cucumber. Now they've scratched it all up and exposed the roots, and so we'll be very lucky if they survive.
But this is why we have guinea fowl.
Oh yeah.
So what does that book say? You actually have a book called Gardening with Guineas?
Yeah. Yeah, it says that they're just lovely in the garden. They just get all the bugs and leave the plants alone. I can't believe it. Over here we've got a row of potatoes. We already did one potato harvest this year. It was really awesome. I have learned a lot about potatoes recently. So we've been doing what we actually call potato cloning, which is taking like a mother potato, and then as it sprouts, you're actually sowing the sprouted potato. But what I did find out is that if you let these go to fruit, that seed inside of that is the real seed for the potato, and so we can grow future actual potatoes and not just clones. So I'm excited about trying that out as well. All right, so here we have one of our herb gardens, and we've got dill, basil, mint, some cilantro, and then more cosmos as well. Dun dun dun! The beauty of this area is this peach tree. And again, just a reminder, the white stuff on everything is diatomaceous earth that we have placed there. So each section of the garden is one of our children's areas too. They get to kind of pick and choose what plants go where in their garden. Alaya every year asks for a salsa garden. he's good as long as he's got salsa. But over here we've got some more tomato, we've got echinacea, we've got some floral plants to really bring in the pollinators. We also have eucalyptus. This bed, we have one of my absolute favorite tomatoes on the property, but this is why it's my favorite. Isn't it beautiful? So in this bed we have all sorts of stuff from artichokes to squash to cabbage to broccoli to strawberries to okra, tomatoes, parsley, peppers, all sorts of stuff. It's really kind of fun in here. So over in this area is our grapevine, kiwis, and blue peas. And we're just really getting started with those. This is our second year with the grapevines and the kiwi, and then the first year for these King Tut peas. But it's been very difficult to keep the creatures off of the peas. So we've actually had several rounds of flowering and fruiting, but every time it gets to the fruit bearing part, they get eaten down. So they're very hardy though, and they do keep coming back, which is nice unless they get uprooted. Now over in this area, this is actually our wild section. We have a ton of blackberries in the back, but we've picked them all, and what we haven't picked and eaten, the squirrels have finally found. But while we're over here, I wanted to highlight this beautiful plant. It is what they call in the South here, maypop, or more widely known around the world as a passion fruit. And they are some of the sweetest passion fruits that we've ever tasted. So every year we're really excited as they pop up all over the property. Right over here, this one's our medicinal herb garden. And so we've got things like lemon balm, calendula, chamomile. We've got lamb's ear, holy basil, as well as wormwood and mint and sorrel and a ton more that I can't even name off. But they're just now all starting to grow in there. And that's what we'll use for both edibles and also medicinals. So over here, our central focus is a cherry tree. The first year that we had it, deer came in and rubbed his antlers against it, cut the whole darn thing down. It's coming back, and it's coming back strong, so we're very thankful for that. Alongside of it, we have this amazing plant called Self-Heal. It is very medicinal. It lives up to its name. You can use it in just about everything. You can eat it just like you would in a salad, or you can cook it like you would spinach. You can put it in smoothies, salsa, you name it, throw it in there. You can tea it as well. And it's just a great addition to your everyday herbs. And then here we also have this beautiful rhubarb that I'm super excited about. And I know that it's more of a cool climate plant, but I had to give it a try because I grew up, my grandparents would make strawberry rhubarb cake and strawberry rhubarb jam. And so I'm excited to give that a try. This here is also a plant called sorrel. Sorrel grows wild, but we also can cultivate it. So we planted this by seed. One of my favorite plants on the property because it really only goes dormant for about 1 month out of the entire year. You can keep coming back and it's a cut and come again. It tastes like strawberry lemon. And again, you can use it anything like you would spinach. We put it in smoothies, we put it in salsas, and it also makes a great tea, which is very good for your digestive health and specifically for parasites, but delicious flavor. So here is Amani's bed. All sorts of stuff in here. She's got holy basil, sorrel. We've got pepper plants that are starting to get really happy. Big, huge tomato plant. She's got all these marigolds around here because all the critters kept coming to her tree specifically and eating them. As soon as we got these marigolds out here, and then we made some of these, they're like wind chimes to kind of scare the critters away. As soon as we got those plants and the chimes in, the critters were gone. So that was the good news with that. She's got strawberries, tomatoes, herbs, and rhubarb in her garden, and it's beautiful. Hi. So last but not least, we have the main part of the garden. And again, we like to have a lot of diversity in the garden. The diverse plants and root systems and mushrooms and all sorts of stuff will communicate with each other and have a much healthier biosphere that they create within their little system. We've got lots of tomatoes, we've got cucumbers, we've got kale, we've got spinach, we've got lettuce, we have squash, and then lots of herbs mixed within. We also have eggplant. I'm excited about trying that out this year. We've got sunflowers, we've got lavender, we've got sage, thyme, chamomile, peppers. We're just having fun with it. I don't know. We're just making this up as we go, but I love plants and I love filling the world with plants. And if we can get something out of it, great. If not, we get to breathe amazing air and create amazing soil. So thanks for joining us on our garden tour. I get excited year after year. I know that it's going to grow and multiply. In the end, we're looking at long-term goals. And for us, that healthy soil is very important. And so we're just doing the best that we can to continue to cultivate healthy soil that will then multiply healthy food, and it becomes a cyclical thing that feeds back to us and we can share with others.